Hi, James with OneHourSmartHome.com, and today we are going to compare Sonos to Alexa. So what we've got here is the Sonos One and the Alexa or Echo Dot. And we're just going to compare these two because a lot of people want to get started in the smart speaker market. And maybe you're considering this higher end Sonos device, or you're considering this Echo Dot, which is a little bit less expensive, a little bit smaller, and this is a little bit higher end, larger, and you're wondering which one should I get? Should I get the more expensive one, or should I get the real basic Alexa device? Now, the reality is both of these devices are packed with a ton of features. And we've got this comparison chart over here kind of showing all the different features and metrics of comparison we did between these two. But as far as Alexa goes, both of these have Alexa built in or are Alexa capable. So they both have a speaker and they both have a microphone that will allow you to use Alexa commands to play music, control your smart home devices, and get news updates, podcasts, ask it questions, all kinds of things. So both of these have those features. And as far as the intelligence of both of these, they're the same because Alexa is just a software service that runs on top of these two hardware platforms. So really it comes down to what are you looking for? And we've kind of compared it with these several features: Alexa compatibility, HomeKit compatibility, Google Home compatibility, streaming music, sound, surround system, and whole home use for surround sound. So the first one obviously is they do both work with Alexa. They both have Alexa built in. There's not really any difference there. When you connect the Sonos One, it does say that some Alexa features will not work with the Sonos One. I have not found that to be true. In all the different skills that I've used, they work the same. There is no limitation there. And I have multiple Sonos devices and have not had any issues with this. So the Sonos One is different than the Sonos Play One. We've got another video on the Play One, but the Sonos One has a microphone and speaker built in so that it will work with Alexa. The Sonos Play One does not have that. The Echo Dot is really kind of the most basic of the Alexa lineup, and you can kind of see here, obviously it's much smaller. It's got a fabric surrounding this device. And you've got 4 buttons here: a mute button, plus or minus volume, and then an action button, which is just really used for like resetting the device and a couple other things that you can do with it. On top of the Sonos One, you obviously can see it's much larger, it's much heavier as well, but you've got volume up, volume down, a play button or pause button, and a microphone mute button right there. So that'll let you mute the microphone. We'll just leave it muted for right now. Now, they do both work with Alexa, like I've said probably 10 times, but a big difference between the two of these is that only the Sonos One works with HomeKit. So if you're looking to have a HomeKit compatible speaker, which some people do like that, if you've got an Apple phone, it allows you to stream directly from your phone to the speaker, and there are a couple other features that you get with that. Now, you can stream directly to either of these speakers from your Apple phone or iPhone or Android phone. It's just how the service interacts with the speaker is a little bit different. So it is easier on the Sonos One potentially than the Alexa device. Just kind of a little bit of a nuance there. It does work with HomeKit. The Sonos One versus the Alexa device does not work with HomeKit, but will still work on your iPhone. So some people, it's not going to be a big deal, but to some people, that's very nuanced. If you're a HomeKit follower and lover, you might want to go with the Sonos device. Google Home compatibility. So obviously, the Amazon Echo Dot is an Alexa product from Amazon. They're not going to let you have Google Home built in on this device. What Sonos did, which is really cool, and what I believe they're going to do in the future, from my understanding, is Sonos allows you to choose which voice assistant you want. So you can choose right now either Google Home or Alexa. There are rumors that they will also allow you to choose Siri as a built-in voice assistant on Sonos. So that's kind of a neat feature that Sonos has, is that you could potentially have either Siri, Google Home, or Alexa on here depending on what service you wanted, and you can change it around. Right now, Sonos only lets you use one or the other, so you can program it to Alexa, you can program it to Google Home, but you can't have both of them on there at the same time, and you can reprogram it whenever you want very simply. It's a very easy process, but I do think that is nice that they allow you to have the flexibility to choose which one you want. And the Google hardware doesn't really have any good speakers in that lineup compared to the Sonos. I mean, it's just a superior product in terms of speakers. But Alexa and Amazon is starting to come with a couple standalone speakers that are pretty good. I don't know if they necessarily match the Sonos sound quality and the overall system and how it works, but they are a great lineup for Google. I think that was a great move to allow these so that they will work with Google Home to really give Google Home some versatility to have good speakers. It also works with Alexa too, so it does give Alexa that versatility to have really good built-in surround sound or built-in speakers with Alexa. So that is a nice feature. Streaming music. As far as streaming music, these both pretty much will play any of these streaming music services out there, the most popular streaming music services. So they're kind of equal there. There's not much of a difference between those. Sound quality. Hands down, the Sonos One or even the Sonos Play One is going to beat the Alexa Echo Dot. Just a comparison here, I know you can't tell, but this is solid. This is heavy when you pick it up. There's a giant speaker in here, and it's very good, the Sonos One, at like filling a room with sound. So in a small bedroom or medium-sized bedroom or even medium-sized room, this will really fill the room with sound. The Echo Dot obviously is smaller, so it's got a smaller speaker. It's more directionalized sound. It doesn't really fill a room up with sound versus this. Even though you know it's in one location, it really feels like the sound is kind of coming from everywhere. Sonos did a really good job engineering that, and they do have this thing called True Play, I believe, that allows you to tune the sound throughout a room, and it does make a big difference with the Sonos speakers. Alexa doesn't have that yet. So just in terms of sound quality, the Sonos One hands down wins there. Surround sound. Now, if you have a TV and you want to connect it to surround sound, there are a lot of options for the Sonos device. You can go with two Play Ones and a Sonos Beam, two Sonos Ones and a Sonos Beam, two Sonos Ones and a Playbar or a Play Bass. You could also use these with built-in speakers for surround sound, and there is a Sonos, I think, bass speaker that will also connect to this. And what's nice about the Sonos surround sound is that they all connect wirelessly for surround sound rather than having to have wires between them. So they create the surround sound by position placement and then just connecting wirelessly and communicating with each other. Now, Alexa does let you do kind of a simulated surround sound system, but obviously there is no jack here to make it surround sound easily. It's quite a bit of work and it's not an easy setup. Versus with the Sonos Ones, we've got another video on the Sonos Play Ones or Ones with a Playbar for surround sound, and it works really good and it's super easy to set up. You basically just plug in an HDMI to the Sonos Beam, and then that will communicate with your Sonos Ones to create a Sonos surround sound system setup. One of the reasons that I like Sonos and a lot of people like Sonos is that it's just really easy to set up and really easy to use. And I've seen that throughout people installing sound systems throughout their house. People go like $20,000, $40,000 to get a surround sound system. And it's all these different complicated remotes and they don't know how to turn it on and off. And you have to pay somebody $1,500 to do a takeover of your system just to show you how to use it. With Sonos, you don't have that. It's super simple, and that's why they have the longevity they do with surround sound and sound systems. And yes, you audiophiles out there will probably tell me there are way better speakers, and there definitely are. But for the average person or medium to average sonophile, they are going to prefer this easy to use interface of Sonos over one of those more complicated systems with receivers and everything and remote controls and stuff that just goes outdated and doesn't get supported. What's great about the Sonos stuff is that there's enough users out there, there's a good community, that the Sonos app is, always updated and works really well, and they take a lot of the feedback from the community to make those better. So I do think that's a win for Sonos there in terms of surround sound. And just a little sidebar on why I think Sonos is a good whole home system, whether you are choosing Sonos speakers standalone like this, or built-in speakers combined with Sonos amps and everything else. It's just easy. You're going to use it more because it's easy, and that is one of the key features. If it takes you an engineering degree to figure out how to use your sound system, you probably will use it less than you think you will, and your family members or significant other will probably not like you for the complications that you've induced with all the sound systems and complicated remote controls. So enough of that, but whole home sound, we kind of covered that a little bit. You can use these will all sync up to provide whole home sound if you've got Echo Dots or other Echo devices, so that is nice. But just overall, and now Alexa does have a couple larger speakers, but Sonos just has more options, better sounding speakers, better sound quality, in my opinion and from my experience, and is why if I were gonna plan a whole home system, I would go with a Sonos system. Now you can get built-in speakers that are Sonos. It's called Sonos by Sonance, and we've got a post on that on the website www.onehoursmarthome.com. But you don't have to use Sonos speakers. You can just use Sonos amps with existing speakers to work with your Sonos system. And is one of the things that I like in terms of flexibility, is that you can have this flexible system of Sonos speakers and built-in speakers, or built-in Sonos speakers with Sonos amps, and they can all work together to create a full sound system in your home. Very simple, easy to use, combine different rooms, play different music in different rooms, play music all across the house. So that does really excel there, because a lot of people move into a house and you may already have speakers there. With Sonos, you can utilize those speakers using a Sonos amp, and you could supplement them with additional built-in speakers from Sonos, or just standalone speakers like the Sonos One. I do think the design of this is pretty nice, that, if you put this on a bedside stand or in an office or on a shelf or something like that, it doesn't look like just a clunky electronic device. It's just got a nice look to it. So you can put it on a shelf, you can put it on a nightstand or bedside table, and it looks good. So if you want to supplement sound system very easily, you can do so with a Sonos. The Echo Dot, it's got an okay look, but maybe it's a little bit more industrial look or techie look versus, I kind of think they've got the same design aesthetic, Sonos, as some of the Apple products. And that's not to say that these aren't a good design. I love Alexa, I love Echo devices. It's just a little bit of a design feature difference between the two of them. But like I said, they will both work for whole home sound, but because of the variety of options that you can do with the Sonos here, I would recommend that, and the sound quality that you get from the average Sonos speaker is much better than the average Echo Dot speaker. So that's pretty much it. That is our comparison of the two. Obviously, this is higher priced. This is much less expensive. Sometimes you get these Echo Dots on sale or packaged with another device. And in that case, I would take the Echo Dot. It's a great little product, a great speaker. I've got some of these in rooms that I don't really play a lot of music in. And I've got one in the garage, okay? Some people listen to a lot of music in the garage, but I don't listen to that much music. I don't spend that much time in the garage. But it's great for when I am in the garage for 15 minutes and I want to listen to music, or maybe some news or podcast or something like that. It's perfect. And I don't worry about it getting damaged in the garage. It's too hot, too cold, something spills on it, breaks, whatever. It's not a big deal. These are more expensive, so I wouldn't really want one in the garage to get too cold, hot, broken, whatever, stolen. With this, it's okay, I got something down there. It's like having a radio. People used to have radios in their garage to listen to whatever. It's kind of the same thing with the Echo Dot. So thank you for watching. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. If you want to support us, please click on any of the links below, or visit us at onehoursmarthome.com. Thank you.